This episode of Rick and Rick is brought to you by Taskin, the first name in ultra-stylish, premium-quality travel gear, like the Taskin Air Duo dual-sided compression packing cubes. One side's 100% air breathable to keep clean clothes fresh and wrinkle-free. The other side's odor and water-resistant to keep dirty laundry sealed up tight. Now you can pack up to 40% more in the same space. Save 30% on your next purchase when you use the promo code R&R Take 30. That's R&R Take 30 at TaskinSF.com.
Go ahead and do your happy dance, Buttercup, because you're just in time for the Season 6 premiere of Rick and Rick Rule the World, with news and views from the intersection of marketing, media, tech, and pop culture, delivered with an extra-large serving of fun.
That's right, the Ricks are back for a whole new season, and so is Doritos Crash the Super Bowl.
Digital payments are emerging as a key element of B2B brand building, plus loaded questions and a whole lot more.
And it all starts right here, right now, on the one show that always walks softly and carries a big Rick, and everybody rules the world.
Hello, welcome everyone to the Season 6 premiere of the Rick and Rick Marketing Podcast. I'm Rick Matheson, and I am joined, as always, by my good pal and great podcast partner, Rick Wooten. Happy Season 6 premiere, Rick.
Season 6, man, I'm so excited. I can't believe we've been doing this for so long. This is so much fun.
Yeah, I also just saw that we are on track to top our annual listens, so it'll be a record breaker for us.
I'm not surprised by that at all. I can't tell you how many times I've run into people and they've mentioned one of the shows. Yeah. And kind of talk to me about it. So I do feel like a lot more people are listening.
Yeah. Have you ever had it where someone will say something like, hey, remember when you did this, that, and the other thing, and you actually don't remember it?
Totally.
You know, it's like, oh, crap.
Totally.
Yeah, I don't remember that, but I believe you. It's funny. So how was your summer?
The summer was good. I did, I think I mentioned to you, I've been doing a little bit of traveling. I actually just got back from Maryland, visiting some family out there, which was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Just trying to, catch up on a lot of things. I think I mentioned to you, I took a month or so off, and I have to tell you, it's the first time I've done it in probably 25 years, and it was awesome. I highly recommend it to everybody. Just take a break for a little bit. You'll be amazed at how much more refreshed you feel afterwards.
I am jealous. Yeah, I didn't get away nearly as much as I would have liked. I did go to San Diego Comic-Con. It's been a while since I'd been there, so that was fun. I can't remember. Are you a Doobie Brothers fan?
I don't know that I would necessarily classify myself as a big fan, but, I enjoyed their music. I think they're extremely talented.
My wife and I went to a concert, and what amazed me was the breadth of songs that they did that I didn't really realize was them. It was like hit after hit after hit. And these guys are like, 70 years old, and they're out there just totally jamming. And it was pretty good. I'm curious, you went to a Duran Duran concert a couple years back, and I'm curious if they did something that these guys did. When they were singing their songs, they were showing the music video from the original time period.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, and it was really cool to have that sort of juxtaposition of them today and then back 40 and 50 years ago.
Yeah, I don't think so. I've seen Duran Duran a couple of times, and I don't think they've ever done that in their concerts. But that sounds like a really cool thing to do. I think I told you I saw Billy Idol in Las Vegas, and he's kind of up in that same age group. And okay, first of all, when he took off his shirt, he was ripped.
Bastard.
It just cracked me up. I was like, dude, you were in so much better shape than I am. I'm kind of embarrassed.
Yeah.
But then the second thing is I kind of was thinking about it afterwards, and the amount of energy he had and the amount of focus that he had on stage was amazing. And for somebody, whatever his age is, up there on stage, rocking it out for an hour and a half, I mean, it absolutely amazed me. He was phenomenal. He put on one of the best shows I've seen.
Yeah, it truly is amazing. And it's neat to see people still doing their craft, like that at those ages. I mean, Doobie Brothers were, 110% energy jumping around, and it exceeded my expectations big time. So that was fun.
Wow. A few years ago, the drummer of the Foo Fighters passed away, and I had always wanted to go see the Foo Fighters, but hadn't made it to go see them. So I was really bummed that I missed him. So now I've got a list of musicians, and I'm just trying to make sure that before anything happens to them, I get to see them all. So I've been working on it for a while.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Kind of like what we were talking about in the Comic-Con episode. When you go to Comic-Con, you see a lot of the creators behind all these great properties that we love, but a lot of them are getting up in age. So if you want to go watch them perform in concert or whatever it is. Time's not slowing down. Get out there and go do it. Speaking of which, time for us to go do lots of great stuff, including a look at some great horror movies and TV shows for binging your way to Halloween, the crucial role of digital payments in B2B brand building, the return of Doritos Crash the Super Bowl user-generated ad contest, and a whole lot more. So let's kick things off with Rick and Rick Radar Love. Pop culture goodness, it's got the Rick's attention. We're going to start it off with horror movies and TV shows. Rick Wooten, what kind of horror has been happening in your viewing world lately, or that you're looking forward to this fall?
The one that has my attention right now, and I keep meaning to make it down to the theater, is Alien Romulus.
Yeah.
I think it's the 4th or 5th Alien movie in the series. I don't know that everybody loves it, but I've always been a big fan of the Alien movies. So I'm super excited about it. I want to go check it out. I hear that it was written really well, and that the storyline flows well. So for me, this is probably in the near term, the one I'm the most focused on at the moment.
Yeah, this one looks good. For me, it's the new Salem's Lot movie on Max. So it's a new adaptation, obviously, of Stephen King's horror classic. It premiered on October 3rd. And if you're not familiar with it, it's about a novelist who returns to his hometown looking for inspiration for a new book and finds out that his hometown is being infiltrated by this growing nest of vampires. A lot of people are a little skeptical of this because they loved the original Salem's Lot miniseries from the 1970s. Did you see that? I feel like we've talked about that show.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I saw it as a kid and it scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, me too.
It was so well
done. It was excellent. But I kind of had one of those weird fixations with Stephen King. So while it scared the crap out of me, I still loved every minute of it. Watched it over and over again.
Loved the master vampire in that. I feel like it inspired most of the master vampires we've seen in movies since then.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
The sort of bald head and the two front teeth being the fangs. Yeah. So we'll see.
On the TV side, there's one that I was going to ask you if you've seen, which is Evil.
Yeah, you gotta see this show. Evil just finished its 4th and final season. I think they have the first 2 or 3 seasons on Netflix, and it normally is on Paramount Plus. It's a great show. It's kind of like a religious version of the X-Files. It has Katja Herbers, my current celebrity crush. She's so dang cute. Her character grew up in the Catholic Church, but she's lapsed. She's not really a believer. She's a forensic psychologist who works with this geeky tech guy and a Catholic priest to determine if cases are mental illness or demon possession.
Oh, interesting.
You got to watch the show. It's really good.
Nice. The last thing that I'm super interested in is seeing Beetlejuice. It's basically a continuation of the Beetlejuice movie that we all grew up with, right? And in fact, they did a pretty good job. They got the majority of the crew back together for this. And anyways, it's just kind of a continuation, next generation kind of situation where they kind of bring in new actors, much like they've done with some of the other stuff that we like Ghostbusters and things like that. So I haven't seen it yet, and the reviews on it have been okay. I don't think that it's over the top awesome, but it's made decent money, and I just think it's great to see Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder, and the rest of the team come in and reenact their roles that we've seen them in the past.
I think I might be the only person on earth who never saw Beetlejuice, or if I did, I have no recollection of it.
What?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it.
Oh, wow.
Ever.
Wow. That's a surprise.
Yeah. Everybody loves it. It's a comedy, right? Comedy horror.
Yeah, you should definitely see them back to back. I did watch it recently. I do have to say that I don't think the special effects necessarily held up over the years. It was always meant to be a little cheesy. Now it looks really cheesy, but I think the story itself is fun. It's a fun ride, and seeing Michael Keaton and everybody else doing it, it's just so much fun. I'd highly recommend it to anyone.
All right. Well, when we come back from this short break, it is time for the good, the bad, and the marketing, including content's coronation at this summer's Cannes Lions Advertising Festival, the return of Doritos Crash the Super Bowl, and more. So mitts off that dial, folks. See you in a second. Hey, Rick and Rick Nation, don't forget to check out our website at rickandrick.com. It's double the Rick in just one click at rickandrick.com. And we are back, Rick Matheson and Rick Wooten, and it is time for the good, the bad, and the marketing. First up, content's coronation at the 2024 Cannes Lions Advertising Festival. Now, we've been between seasons, so this is really the first chance that we've had to take a look at some of the news coming out of this year's Cannes. And this year, as noted by contentmarketinginstitute.com, the big prize winners weren't just great ads as much as they were classic content marketing.
When you look at the winners from this year's Brothers event. Quite a few of them fall into this category where they're not direct response ads. They're not necessarily an ad with a call to action in them trying to drive you into buying. They're more trying to create a brand moment with people and to drive something special with them. Right. And I think that's kind of cool. And I like that there's the recognition of getting in there and doing something creative as opposed to trying to do something too direct is the way to win over customers and the way to sell your business. Right. And they're awarding people for that. So I think that was really cool.
Yeah. And these are often big ticket items. I mean, the Grand Prix in pharma went to Siemens Health and Ears for its Magnetic Stories campaign. So MRI machine manufacturer. Well, it partnered with children's books authors to create these audio stories that were paired with the sound patterns that you hear when you're having an MRI done. So the example they gave in this article is, a child can listen through headphones to a story called The Flying Train while getting a bone scan. Yeah. So the chugging noise that the MRI machine makes fits in perfectly with the storyline as it goes along. So it wasn't an ad. There was no CTA. It was just a brand moment, but pretty brilliant.
Oh, I think it's fantastic. And then the one that was my favorite was Pedigree, the dog food company. Yeah. They won one because they had a series of digital ads that featured real adoptable pets. As the pet was being adopted, the ad was removed from the inventory. So it was also dynamic in real time. And, does it help them sell dog food? In a way, yeah, it does. Is it direct? No, it isn't. But I just think it's really good marketing.
Yeah, I think literally in that instance, just having the Pedigree logo on the screen was enough.
Absolutely.
Doritos is set to revive its Crash the Super Bowl contest. After nearly a decade, PepsiCo's Frito-Lay and Doritos brands are bringing back the Crash the Super Bowl user-generated content campaign. This is Adweek reporting, and it was nearly 20 years ago when Crash the Super Bowl first allowed people to create and submit their own 30-second commercial to compete for some serious cash prizes and the chance to work on at least one of the years it was to work with a top-tier director on a Super Bowl commercial.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Through the course of the original run, they received more than 30,000 fan-created commercial submissions and handed out about $7 million in prizes. And what's really amazing here, Rick, from 2006 through 2016, fan-created Crash the Super Bowl ads broke into USA Today's Ad Meter's top 5 Super Bowl commercials each and every one of those years, and ranked at number 1 on the Ad Meter 4 different times. So that's pretty amazing.
Hey, didn't our friend Dave do one as well? It feels like he did one at one time.
You know what? I think he did. Yeah. A lot of people do. To be clear, it's not like your 8-year-old daughter is going to shoot something and then submit it and have it win. I mean, the folks that actually win these are professionals or semi-professionals, people who are on their way, if not already established in video production and the entertainment industry. That's okay, though. I mean, it's a big shot in the arm. I know that, I want to say it was for my book, The On-Demand Brand. I talked to one of the winners. They were a small production company, and they created a really funny commercial. I think it was one with a dog. It's been too long. I don't remember. But at any rate, this was a win-win for everybody.
Absolutely.
All right. Now, what's also a win-win in brand building is the role of digital payments. We talked on an episode a while back how 57% of consumers will decide on which store to do business with, at least in part based on the payment options offered. And there's a piece in payments.com that was talking about how this is coming to B2B as well.
Oh, interesting.
The contention is that, fast, flexible, and secure transactions are important to everybody, but 75% of B2B brands still predominantly use paper checks, despite the high costs and inefficiencies for receiving and making payment. Now, sending out a paper check can cost $10 plus postage, but I think the real reason that this is growing in importance is that it becomes a different kind of credit, especially in things like buy now, pay later. That is a thing that a lot of consumers use. It's a form of credit, different from a credit card, usually less expensive. Well, for a business, basically these work as lines of credit, which enables them to more easily manage working capital and cash flow. So it becomes a brand element just in that.
Absolutely.
There's also the wealth of data that those transactions generate.
Yeah.
B2B marketers get insight into their customers' behavior, their preferences, their pain points, all of which can be turned into better products and better messaging.
I agree with everything you just said. I think the other element here, and we've all known this for a long time, is the easier you make it for people to do business with you, the more business they're going to do with you. And I think that's something that hasn't been pervasive in the B2B market. Instead, many B2B companies try to hide their pricing. They will only accept payments in, very strict ways. And, from a consumer standpoint, that, in this case, a B2B consumer, it makes it difficult to do business with.
Exactly.
And so if we do see a shift to more transparency, more simplification as to, how to buy from companies, it's going to make all the difference in the world.
Yeah. And especially if you think about, by adding or layering in these types of payment options, you're creating whole new markets for, depending on what your product and service is, but creating markets for folks that are sensitive to working cash flow and operating capital, that you can really become a lifesaver for them and have their loyalty forever.
That's right.
All right. Next up, it's going to be time for a round of loaded questions. So stay tuned.
This episode of Rick and Rick is brought to you by Taskin, the first name in ultra-stylish, premium quality travel gear, like the Taskin Air Duo dual-sided compression packing cubes. One side's 100% air breathable to keep clean clothes fresh and wrinkle-free. The other side's odor and water-resistant to keep dirty laundry sealed up tight. Now you can pack up to 40% more in the same space. Save 30% on your next purchase when you use the promo code R&R Take 30. That's R&R Take 30 at TaskinSF.com.
And we are back. Rick and Rick rule the world with Rick Matheson and Rick Wooten. And it's time to play Rick and Rick Loaded Questions, our multiple choice quiz game that you can play at home. All right, Rick, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, question number 1. According to park rangers, the ecosystem within the Carlsbad Caverns in New Mexico underwent a, quote, world-changing impact caused by A, a flash mob of teenagers doing the Deadpool dance while blaring NSYNC's Bye Bye Bye, B, a dropped bag of Cheetos brand corn snacks, C, 30 Taco Bell stuffed tourists coming face to face with a lack of bathroom facilities, or D, a box of Rick and Rick Pez dispensers stowed away for safekeeping. According to park rangers, the ecosystem within the Carlsbad Caverns in New Mexico was disrupted by what?
I think it was the Cheetos, right? I think I saw an article on this.
You are correct. The answer is B. So according to the Miami Herald, a dropped bag of Cheetos brand corn snacks had a, quote, world-changing impact on the Carlsbad Caverns. The cheesy snacks that were dropped in the caverns were softened by the humidity in the cave, forming the perfect environment for fungi and microbials to thrive, and then for crickets, mites, spiders, and flies to spontaneously create a new food web, dispersing the nutrients to the surrounding cave and formations. Apparently, Rick, molds that spread higher up on these stalactites or whatever, up the nearby surface will fruit, die, and stink with a fume you might call silent but Cheetle.
That's too bad. I wasn't aware of the impact of that, but I guess that makes sense. That's too bad.
Yeah.
I had a friend over here the other day. I think I've told you I got a dog recently, and she's super friendly and loves everybody. And I'm pretty sure that a friend of mine was giving her this little snack called Pirate's Booty, which is basically similar to a Cheeto, kind of like a, white cheese version of it. And I said, hey, don't give her anything. That's not good for her. And he's like, well, if it's bad for her, that isn't good for me. And I'm like, no, it's not good for you. Don't eat it either.
Yeah, as a matter of fact.
So anyways, it made me think of that.
All right, question number 2. According to Gartner, in the age of generative AI, organic search-driven site traffic is expected to A, sprout wings and blow this popsicle stand, B, grow 23% by 2028, C, decline 47% by 2028, or D, decline 50% by 2028. According to Gartner, organic search-driven traffic is expected to do what?
I'm going to guess grow 23%.
Answer here is D. So in a recent webinar, Gartner analysts projected a 50% decline in organic search-driven site traffic by 2028. This is thanks in part to generative AI search results.
Huh. Yeah, I guess this makes sense. You and I have talked about this a bit where before too long, we believe that it will be AI search engine marketing, or an AI engine optimization, whatever it is. And so I can see that to be pretty accurate. It's surprised that they're predicting that much in that short of a time frame, though.
Yeah, that is just over 3 years from now. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, totally.
All right, final question. Building off question number 2, in fact. According to Gartner, that decrease in organic search-driven site traffic will be in parts thanks to generative AI, like I just said, but also changing consumer search behaviors. To that end, which of the following is not an official Gartner estimate? A, 61% of consumers use Amazon to research products. B, 49% of consumers use social media to research new products and services. C, 12% of Gen Z never uses a search engine to research products. Or D, year-over-year organic search-driven traffic is already showing declines of 9.5%. Which of these is not a Gartner estimate?
I'm not confident in this one. I'm going to go with C, the Gen Z one.
You are correct.
Nice.
It is the only one of these. So according to Gartner, 61% of consumers use Amazon now for researching products. So Amazon's advertising, depending on your product category, may be as important, if not more important than regular search. 49% of consumers use social media to research new products and services. And again, to that whole point about content, having content that pulls people in about your products and services, social can be a great channel. And frankly, with my B2B and B2C clients, social has been way better in terms of sending qualified traffic than search has been.
Makes sense.
And year-over-year organic search-driven traffic is already showing declines of almost 10%.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Very much so.
All right. What's also crazy is that this is the end of this episode. We are so glad that you joined us for our big season 6 premiere, and we're looking forward to spending the next season with you with all kinds of news and views from the worlds of marketing, media, tech, and pop culture. Until next time, Rick, why don't you tell folks where they can find you online?
The best place to find me is Twitter or X or whatever they're calling it today. My handle there is Wooten, Wootten. What about yourself, Matheson?
Likewise, you can find me on the X where Twitter used to be. My handle is @RickMatheson. And of course, you can visit us at rickandrick.com where you can learn more about Rick Wooten and Rick Matheson and listen to archived episodes and more. Until next time, please keep on coming back to the one show where everybody's name is Rick.
And everybody rules the world.